I accidentally learned this solo note for note, and in this video I'm going to explain how I did that and why it's something that you should try for yourself. Despite the slight out-of-tune-ness of the recording to the piano, most of you will recognize what I just did as simply transcribing. And while I sat and figured out the exact notes of Oscar's intro to Motown Swing, that's actually not the part that I'm talking about. You see, I first heard this track off of Sonny Stitt Sits In with the Oscar Peterson Trio a long time ago when I was early on in my discovery of jazz. And I listened to this track so much that it completely and fully ingrained into my ear and into my brain. And I'm actually not even talking about Oscar here. It was Sonny Stitt's solo on this particular track that stuck out to me as being so perfectly constructed, with lines and resolutions around chord changes that were so satisfying. Listening to it over and over and over again was easy. I just wanted to keep hearing it, but an interesting thing happened as a result of hearing it so many times. This part, check it out. Things that I can't necessarily articulate with my own voice, but I know how they go and I know where they end up. Now, what's funny about this solo is, like, I never actually put it onto the piano, and to this day, if I tried to play along with it, well, I never worked it out. But it would be something that would be incredibly easy for me to do because it's already here. What I did when I was a kid, before I even realized what I was doing, was fully and accurately transcribed my first solo. Now, when it comes to transcription, there are a few different ways that you typically see people do it. The first way, perhaps the more academic approach, that's the way of slowing it down, writing out the notes, whatever you need to do to get it down on paper and then learn how to play it. And I definitely did this with a fair amount of tunes. Transcribing Barry Harris's solo on The Way You Look Tonight was an assignment I got from a private teacher early on when I was in school. And I went about learning it in the way I just mentioned. I took it apart and I wrote it down on paper, and then I learned it section by section, and that was fine. It was enough for me to learn it and be able to take some things from it. But what you didn't just see in this video is how many tries it took me to get that right. The only reason I still remember parts of this solo are because I did it so many times after I had transcribed it for my assignment that it wound up becoming ingrained in a similar way. But let me tell you something, it wasn't because I wrote it out and learned it note for note on paper. Sonny Stitt's lines on this particular record were just so satisfying to me. The way he connects the chord changes, the way he resolves lines and uses voice leading to move in between the keys, especially the bridge in A major. I just wanted to listen to it over and over and over and over again. And even though I have never actually converted that onto the keyboard and learned the whole thing, it's still probably the solo that I know the best. And it's one of the earliest ones that I ever transcribed. And I still know it so well because I didn't go go about it the same way that I went about transcribing Barry Harris. The Sonny Stitt solo I learned purely by just listening to it over and over and over again. And I wasn't even trying to remember the bits and pieces of it. I just heard it so much that eventually it became ingrained. This is by far the most effective way to transcribe anything that you want to learn how to play. Sing it first, and then eventually learn how to play it. Check out this incredible video from a gentleman named Brandon McCoon of him and his kids sitting in the car singing along with Coltrane. Now 26-2, for those of you who don't know, is not exactly an easy tune. It's harmonically complex like a lot of Coltrane tunes are, but yet watch this.
Coltrane in the afternoon.
And it's not just the melody either, listen. This is absolutely incredible, and what you're seeing is transcription happening in real time. Can any of these kids take this and play it on an instrument? Maybe, but I feel like the answer is probably no at this point. But yet they know this inside and out like the back of their hand. How many times do you think that they've listened to this recording? My guess is a lot. And I promise you, 20, 30, 40 years from now, they will still know this solo exactly like they know it right now. Can I sing it all accurately? No, but it's in here. It's in here. I know where it's going. The kids singing Coltrane, they know where it's going. No, they're not nailing every single note. The goal here isn't to be a singer, it's to know and maybe roughly be able to sing whatever it is that you're trying to learn. No matter what you want to sound like on your instrument, whatever genre you want to learn, this is by far the most important thing. It's the reason that the people who are best at certain music have just consumed all there is to consume in that particular genre. You learn so many things this way. It's not just the notes, it's not just the lines, it's the feel, it's the phrasing, it's the articulation, everything about what it means to sound how you want to sound. One of my favorite recordings of all time when it comes to straight ahead jazz. And I literally learned it note for note on accident. This is how you want to learn the music that you ultimately want to sound like, without even trying. And you know it's your sound because if you can't stop listening to something, well, that probably means it really connects with you. Before even intentionally giving this a shot with music that you want to learn, think about what you've already learned in your own life. What have you listened to so many times that you can sing along with exactly? And it doesn't have to be a jazz solo, it can be literally whatever you want. But before learning how to convert the things that you learn in your ear to the instrument, it helps to have some background on the instrument you're trying to learn. For the next 2 weeks, our Intro to Piano course is 50% off, so you can start the year out right and finally start learning the piano. The course gives you everything you need to start from not having ever played this instrument before to understanding how it's all laid out, getting your fingers going, getting you playing some stuff right away, and it's jam-packed with instructional videos with tons of detailed graphics and animations, as well as countless exercises and examples and actionable steps so that you can start your journey in learning how to play this instrument and learning how to play anything you want to on this instrument. It'll touch on a little bit of theory and a lot of getting your hands working right from the get-go. It's available at the link in the description down below, and it's 50% off. You don't need a code or anything like that. You just go use the link in the description and get 50% off the course, but only for the next 2 weeks. So be sure to take advantage of that while you can. And I want to know in the comments below, what are some of your favorite solos that you maybe learned completely unintentionally over the years? I can think of countless more that are stuck in my head from so many years of just playing them in the car and playing them with friends and literally driving down the road screaming because some of this stuff was just so good. Those are the solos that you know the best, even if you've never actually taken them and learned them on your instrument. Once again, check out the 50% off Intro to Piano course. It's the best way you can support the channel so that we can continue doing what we love to do, which is creating this content for you guys. So thank you so much for your support. Thank you for your time. Thank you for watching this video, and we will see you in the next one.